Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you're all doing well today. I cannot complain one little bit. I feel pretty good today. Sorry about the wet hair. This is what happens when I'm running late. So I hope everybody is on board and feeling well. While I'm waiting for my chat to pop up, let me just remind you that my name is Angie Atkinson. And on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and we'll just get going. So, how is everybody feeling today? Are you guys ready for the weekend? Are you feeling strong? Tell me what's going on with you. Vivian, hello, hello. How are you? Shannon O'Brien, Paul McMurrin, hello, hello. Carlita, good morning. Lena Hernandez, good morning. She says she's so happy to see me. Well, thank you. Fetch the Sled is here, says hello. Oh, says hugs. Hugs back to you, Fetch. The dentist says, Angie, how many months does it take to know a person? Oh, great question. Tell you what, that is an excellent question. I think that just depends on how much time you spend with that person. Um, I think that you don't really know a person until you live with them, but you can get to know a person pretty well by spending a good deal of time. I would say it takes at least a year, at least. If especially if you're not living with them. If you're living with them, I would say you could probably know who they were within 3 to 6 months. I know that a lot of religions don't always uh, encourage us to move in early before we get married or whatever. But I think that in today's society, living together is not such a bad thing before marriage, but only when you know them well enough to do that. You know what I mean? I don't think you should ever rush into any of those situations. I don't know if that's helpful at all, Dennis. Let me know your thoughts. Vivian says kisses from Greece. Back at you, girl. How you feeling today? Glad to see you. Let's see here. We have Colleen. She says, good morning. Wet hair is clean hair. Still looks great. Well, thank you. And yes, ma'am, it is clean. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Hey, ex dude, how you doing? He says, hey, Angie, how are you? Been a very long time. I cannot complain, and I'm so glad to see you. Where you been? What's going on? Are you feeling good? Talk to me. Nargis says, Angie, good morning, sister. A happy, fantastic, fabulous Friday. It is today. Yes, indeed. She says, I hope you and your family are doing well. I work the weekend, so excited about it. I'm so glad to hear that, Nargis. I love your positive energy today. That is a beautiful thing. And as always, I'm thrilled to see you when you can make it in. Thank you for coming in, honey. Sansu Wellness in the house. Good morning. How are you, my friend? And Shastina says hello. Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? Long time no see. Tina is back. Hello, Tina. Welcome back. And Tanya Robinson, good morning and welcome, my friend. Says good morning, Angie. The dentist says, after how many days of a relationship will it be okay to get busy? I'll tell you what, my opinion on that is if you can, I would wait 6 weeks. I know it sounds like a lot, but 6 weeks at least. And the reason I say that is because when empaths get involved with someone on an intimate level, we tend to become kind of attached to that person more so than your average bear, right? And a bunch of us in here are empaths. So I say wait at least 6 weeks because in 6 weeks, oops, sorry about that. In 6 weeks, you may know the person well enough to, to know if they're going to have uh, issues. We'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts. Dawn is here, says good morning, Angie and group. Oops, hold on a minute. Lost my place. Good morning, Dawn. How are you? And Malta. Hey, Malta. So happy to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Raven says hello, all. And blessed to be alive is here. Says checking in. Hello, hello. And Malta says good morning. Sansu says spend time with them in different settings, like with friends and family. Absolutely important. I'll tell you something that I found interesting. With my ex, he didn't have any real friends. And one of the things I found really attractive about my current husband when I met him was that he had lots of good friends and friends he had had for many, many years, lifelong friends. And so I thought that was a very positive thing for him. So, yeah, I'm with you. Um, and also, you do want to see how they treat their family and how their family treats them, because that can often give you some really, really good signs of who they are and what they're all about. Tanya says, Raven. Wildwoods Cottage is here. Hello, welcome. Says hello to everybody. Gwen Scott says, good morning. Angie, missed you so much. And the group as well. Hi, all. Hey, Gwen, welcome back, honey. How are you? Paul McMurrin says, I'm thinking about walking away for a minute from my kids till the investigation is over. My 6-year-old, is this my phone? My 6-year-old flat told me that this confuses him. Is this wrong of me? I'm not abandoning, mentally trying to help him. Paul, I think that it's maybe not the best idea to walk away from your kids, especially at that age, because there's a huge amount of abandonment issues that can come with that. I would say that you might say, hey, I'm going to step back here. You reach out to me if you need me, but if you're going to do it with communication and still see them. Just maybe, give them a little space if they want it, but don't walk away and don't pull yourself out of their lives. I think the problem with doing that is that it's always going to be more difficult to reinsinuate yourself if you stop being part of their daily lives. So, obviously you don't want to talk bad about their mother. Obviously their mother shouldn't be talking bad about you, but if she's a narcissist, chances are she is. So the thing is, kids are a lot more aware than we realize. They see a lot more and they understand a lot more than we think. So, but ultimately, above all, no matter what she does, I would not walk away right now. If you want to back up, back off a little bit, fine, but make sure you're still communicating with your kid. A 6-year-old probably doesn't have his own phone yet, at least mine didn't. So that's going to be a little harder, but I would still do whatever you can to stay in touch because you're their father. If that's my opinion. Everybody, please tell Paul what you think. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Blessed to be alive says hello to Malta. Rose Hargrove says, last night was difficult. My son was arguing and accusing. I'm so tired. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Do you want to talk about it? Let me know. Cosette says, good morning. I'm finally feeling better and not so heartbroken over my narc ex-boyfriend. It only took 2.5 months of severe depression and anxiety, though we were only together 3 months. Cosette, these people, they affect us in such major ways. They do. They really do. And the thing is that, being that you were only together 3 months, it took 2.5 months of severe depression and anxiety. I mean, first of all, I'm really happy to hear that you're doing better. Secondly, 2.5 months is a long time, right? Especially when you were together 3 months. But that explains to everybody how intense these relationships can be and how significantly they can affect us. So, Cosette, I'm so happy to hear you're doing better. Do you want to talk about what kind of pushed you over the top? Let us know. Maybe you can help another survivor. Catherine, good morning. She says, thank you so much. My pleasure, my friend. The dentist says, yes, Angie, 1 year is a good time, but how to find a good partner. Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? You take the time to get to know a person. You don't jump. One thing that I did was I literally sat down and wrote down all of the qualities that I wanted in this person. And that was very helpful for me. I will tell you, be very specific in your list. And you will most likely get what you ask for. So be careful what you ask for. But yeah, I think it's important to define what you're searching for in the first place, because I think a lot of us never sit down and go, this is the type of person I really want. A lot of us never think of that because why would we, but yeah, that's what I would suggest. Knowing what you want and then accepting nothing less. Yeah. And not jumping into bed too early, not having sex too soon, not not becoming too close too soon, not doing the everyday phone call thing too soon or the everyday all day long texting thing, being aware of the red flags and knowing what they are. I've made videos on this before, dentists. Let me know if you need me to make another one. Raquel Molina's back. Hey girl, hey, how you doing? She says, good morning. Well, the court date was just a status update. So settlement coming in the 23rd of April. But been having lots of job interviews. Fingers crossed. Congratulations and awesome. Let's all send some positive, strong, employable energy to Miss Raquel today. All right. Thank you, Raquel, for the update. Lena says, Angie, I wanted to ask you, what can you advise me on what to do considering it's Friday and the weekend is coming? I seem to be so sad and I get paranoid that my ex-narc will be stalking me, or is it just me? Lena, I think if I remember correctly, you have a reason to be paranoid. If I remember from our discussions before, but I will tell you that what I would do is just make sure you're safe. You know, make sure your doors are thoroughly locked and your windows are closed or whatever you need to do. Make sure you know what to do in the event that he does show up. You know, so call the police or whatever you need to do, and then I would try to do your very best to stay positive. You know, so be prepared for anything that could happen, but also at the same time, don't dwell on it. You know what I mean? Prepare and move on. So, okay, here's the plan. If he shows up, I call the police. I stay inside the house. I don't open the door. You know, come up with a workable plan, and then stop thinking about it, stop focusing on it. Because what happens is that when we focus on something like that, where we sit around and we go, gosh, I don't want this to happen, guess what happens? We kind of draw it to ourselves. Our energy is almost asking for that thing, because you know the universe knows no positive or negative. It just knows that you're like, boyfriend's going to stalk me, boyfriend's going to stalk me, you know what I mean, or ex-boyfriend's going to stalk me. That's kind of where it comes from. So I hope that's a little bit helpful. Let me know your thoughts. X Dude says, I'm happy to say I'm improving. I've been able to fight my depression better now. I need to keep getting stronger to get back to what I was. Oh, that's excellent news. Excellent news. Sansu says, if they don't want to hang out with your friends or meet any of your family, that's a big red flag. Yep. I literally broke up with someone over that before. Yes, that is a big red flag. You're absolutely right, Sansu. Morning, Miss Bonnie. Welcome back, my friend. And Nargis says, I can't wait for the weather to get a bit warmer so I can get back to walking around in the lake in my favorite retreat place. Oh, I love a good lake. Yes, I do, my friend. Yeah, I'm with you. The weather is getting warmer regularly here, and I'm super psyched. I can't wait to, get outside more often. And yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful stuff. Rebecca Leonard is here. Hello, Rebecca. She says, Angie, thank you for the span group. I have found so much comfort and validation from being in there. I'm so, so happy to hear that, Rebecca. That means a lot to me. Our span admin group is amazing, and everybody in there is amazing. It's a really, it's really one of the best things that has come out of this whole thing I'm doing, because with the admin team being survivors themselves and really understanding the depths of it all, boy, it makes a huge difference in our ability to do this. And in fact, I'm training my several of my admins right now on coaching. And some of them have gone on and gotten other certificates as well. So this group will be, in my opinion, the best one, if it's not already, the best one available when I'm done with it. And I won't be done with it, but you know what I mean. So yeah, we're very blessed. Thank you so much, Rebecca. I lost my place. Hold on, I gotta get back where I was. Rebecca. Okay. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is crazy. Okay, I don't know how this happens. Every now and then the chat will just go ploop and I'll lose my spot. Shastina says, Angie, Narcula's mom passed away. Kids and I went no contact in January, and he will be homeless soon as his dad doesn't want him there anymore. I'm scared because he's too silent now. Well, you are not responsible for him. Don't let yourself be put in that position. Don't be scared to get an alarm system in your home, and don't be scared to call the police if he shows up. Teach your children what to do if they if they run into him or he tries to take them or something. Teach them how to behave. So for example, my children are taught that if someone comes up and grabs them and tries to pull them into a car, they're supposed to scream and yell and kick and make as much noise as possible so someone will help them. You know what I mean? And obviously in my case, I've told my children to say, you're not my mom or you are not my dad. Now I know that he is your children's dad, but you could still tell him to scream that in order to get attention if he tries to take them, if that's a worry for you. Other than that, I would just watch your back, protect yourself, and don't allow yourself to be guilted into taking him back. There's a reason his dad doesn't want him there, and that's the same reason that you don't want him there, I'm guessing. Tell me your thoughts. Nargis says, good morning, Malta dear. And Malta says, good morning, Raquel, Bonnie, Catherine, Gwen, and Wildwoods Cottage. Nargis says, I hope you're doing well in Toronto. I so love Toronto. That's awesome. Catherine Crispin says, that's so true. And Blessed to Be Alive says pain issues with the ex narc fiance due to repeated whiplash while driving places with her for too long. Wow. Here to pray for anyone who needs prayer. Lists are great. I can go over it. That makes it easier. All right. Um, Bonnie says, oh my gosh, my narc mom called me twice already with demands and drama. It's not even noon here on the East Coast. Lord help me. Oh, Bonnie, I'm so sorry, honey. Stay strong, girl. Stay strong. Um, okay. Blessed to Be Alive. I'm sorry that you're having the pain issues. I know that's hard. If anyone has strong, positive, healing energy to send over to Blessed to Be Alive, that would be great. And also, I'm not going to give you any recommendations for the pain because that's not what I do, but I think ibuprofen helps a lot with some stuff because it helps with swelling and it helps with pain relief at the same time. So it might be a good option, or a leave maybe. But there are better natural things, so don't listen to me. Somebody else in the chat might have a better idea than that. Let's see here. Malta says, good morning to Nargis. And Marianne O'Donnell says, happy Friday. Colleen says she loves Toronto too. It's her hometown. Awesome. Wally says, good morning. We will see if I can still, if I'm still working at the bank, and see if I can pass the 3 months mark. Oh, awesome. Well, how do you feel about that, Wally? I knew you were struggling with it for a while. The dentist says, friends to life partners. How do you see this? I mean, this could be a great thing, dentist. It could be an ideal situation. I mean, I think the fact of the matter is, if we're being honest, at some point in any relationship, if it's all about the intimacy and not ever about, friendship, it can't work. You need to be friends with your partner, in my opinion. I think that's the only way that you can ever be happy for more than a year or two, really. And a year or two is a little generous if you're not friends, honestly. That's my personal opinion. Well, what do I know? Let's see here. The Kingdom Princess in the house. Hello, Kingdom Princess. How are you? She says, hi, all. Gwen Scott says, I am in a great mood this morning. I finally got to get out and do something. I went to go to Caesar Milan. Oh, cool. Cool. Nargis says, Vivian, I watch out for wandering eyes and the ugly. I saw that red flag, but mistook it as it is human. I was so wrong. He flatly told me when he sees other woman, he gets the urge to beep. Oh, goodness. Blessed to Be Alive says, how am I? Headache strikes again, dealing with it the best I can. I'm so sorry. I know how that feels. And I know, what's crazy is that it's often well, of course, you already said what yours was a side effect of specifically, but a lot of times, even people who weren't in a bad driving situation with a narcissist will experience repeated headaches just as a result of the nerve damage that's caused, by this repeated abuse. It's a long, drawn out story, but I hope you feel better soon. I'm so sorry. Malta says, good morning and a very happy Friday to you, Marianne O'Donnell, Colleen, and Shannon. The Mod Squad. Okay. Dentist says, hi, Malta. And Malta says, good morning, Kingdom Princess and Dentist. Bonnie says, my mom's an 88-year-old narcissist. So if anyone ever asks, narcissists don't change. There you go. And that's evidence. One more little bit of evidence. Colleen says she hopes Malta's doing well. Vivian says, how is the body language of the narc in the first date to find out? Well, what I've seen is that a lot of times on the first date, they'll be amazing. They'll be charming and wonderful. And you'll think, oh my gosh, where's this person been all my life? But you can notice little things like they talk about themselves more than they want to know about you. And they might behave like everything you like, they like, or, rather than saying, oh, that's interesting, tell me more, they might know all the things already or pretend to, body language, you're going to see little things, but on the first date, it's going to be difficult. I think what you have to watch for is all the little red flags. So if they're rushing into, they're like, I think I might love you. Or on the first date, they might tell you, something about, oh, we could, maybe if we get married someday or if we have children, they like to rush. On the flip side of that, there are some narcissists who, want to keep you at a certain distance. And so they will, kind of act like a player, but most players are just who they are. They're just like, look, we're getting together for this and that's that. They're pretty honest about it, and that upsets people, but it's not narcissistic per se. It can become that way, of course, but when we're talking about a narcissist in general, they want to get your commitment even if they're not willing to give it to you. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a big piece of it. They're going to promise you a lot of things that they aren't going to deliver. Um, they're going to seem perfect in so many ways, but you got to kind of look past the perfect to see the ugly underbelly, so to speak. I don't know if that's helpful at all, but I've done videos on this, and I can do another one if you need me to, Vivian. Excuse me. Um, Bonnie says narcs are drama never ending and they drain you. Oh, girl, do they not? Oh my gosh. Yeah, totally. Totally. Malta says, yes, Colleen, spring is upon us. And Jennifer Smith says, good morning. Hoovering is hitting me hard with my family and my ex. Don't know what manipulative, deceitful tactics they are plotting to try and keep me and my son from moving forward. Well, I understand completely. My suggestion to you, Jennifer, would be to literally not allow them to affect you. So don't have any of your plans or any of your moves forward be dependent on them. Stay focused on what you can control and not what you can't control, and what you do want and not what you don't want. Don't worry what they're going to do, because whatever you're going to do can be completely separate from them. You see what I'm saying? Change your mindset. That will stay strong, my friend. I know it's hard. Gwen Scott says, hey, Malta, Bonnie, Catherine. And Rose says, I told him he could leave anytime. He got frightened down and said he had nowhere to go. Well, there's a starting point, isn't it? See, and it's difficult, but when you put it in that perspective and you look at it from that angle, now you know where the power lies, don't you? You have the power, Rose. If he's in your house, you tell him that anytime he disrespects you. I just had a conversation with someone yesterday about this similar thing, where someone who lived in her house was disrespecting her and was very rude and disrespectful. And I said, that's your house. Basic rules should be followed. They weren't out of line with the rules they were asking the person to follow. And I said, let them know how it is. Give them an ultimatum. Follow the rules or get the F out, And I think, Rose, you have the power there. And you saw that when he kind of backed off. So use that to your advantage. You feel me? Let me know your thoughts on that. All right. Wally says, I found out my side doctors on rating. I found my doctors on Rating a Doctor website, realized he is an a-hole all along, and I suspect he wrote his own good rating. Been there. Yeah. Good morning, Crystal Ralph. And Adrian says, good morning, Angie, Malta, and everyone. I love your recent videos. Got to catch up on them yesterday. We'll watch the one you posted yesterday, too. I'm happy for the outcome with the birth family. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was such a good thing. Such a good thing. Thank you so much. Cheryl says, good morning. I saw an attorney who knows about narcissism this week. I'm feeling empowered. I love that, Cheryl. That is amazing news. Wonderful. Thank you. Bonnie says, narcs have no boundaries. Excuse me. And if you don't give them their needed crack supply, they will throw you right under the bus. That's absolutely the truth. Yeah. Yeah. And they do. Literally, they become addicted to the supply, and they will definitely throw you right under the bus without a second thought. You're absolutely right, Bonnie. Linnea Elizabeth says, or we do it and we accept less. What did I miss a part of her thing? Yeah, you can accept less, of course, but that doesn't make your life better at all. Malta says, good morning to Adrian. Teresa Shaw says, hello, sweetie. This is Teresa. I told you my narc is she's pressing, her narcissist did something bad to her grandchild. She's pressing charges and she's out of it. 25-year marriage, going through divorce. Any advice on the court, how narc acts, etc.? Well, Teresa, the narcissist is going to act like a big whiner in the court, but I'll tell you something. Courts don't put up with pedophiles. They don't. And, knowing for sure that it was done, definitely get the divorce, obviously. It sucks that it was a 25-year marriage, and I'm sorry. But I know that I would in your shoes do the same thing, and I think any of us would. Um, I hope he goes to jail. I think he's going to act like a poor me kind of person, but most courts that I'm aware of, they absolutely do not tolerate pedophiles. So just tell the truth. That's all you have to do. Tell the truth. You've done nothing wrong. You did the right thing when you found out, and you continue to do the right thing by pressing charges. So stay strong, support your daughter or your son and your grandbaby, and stay focused on moving forward. Without him, this could be the first day of the rest of your life if you want it to be. Yep. Crystal says hi to Malta. Wally says, because of him and his coworker, I worry about going to the ER because of his written report on me. That's terrible. Oh, you mean because they might assume that you're loopy instead of actually hurt? Is that what you're saying? Miss Ruby says, what Briggs Myers type or narcissist do they fall into that group? One group more often than others? That's a good question. I actually know. I'll make a video on that because I actually know some narcissists and their Briggs Myers types, and I find that very fascinating. Yeah. Vivian says, I really think that the boyfriend of one of my friends is a narcissist because he has all the things the narcissist has. I want to help her do as much, but I don't really know. I don't really know how. She's so into him. Okay. Vivian, I totally understand that, and it's very normal to feel that way. But with that being said, it's not necessarily the safest bet. It's not necessarily the best way to go because maybe you can help her because you can show her information about narcissists and things like that. Or maybe you can talk about your own experience with narcissists without actually talking about her experience with her boyfriend. But most of the time, early in a relationship, she's not going to believe you, and she's going to become angry at you because you are trying to take away her sunshine or whatever. So you have to be really careful with how you handle that. Be very careful. My suggestion is to just talk to her about your own experiences and explain things that might kind of sound familiar to her because you know that her boyfriend has done those things, but don't actually relate them to her boyfriend. Let her connect the two things. Do you know what I'm saying? And feel free to send her a video now and then and say, hey, this is what I went through. Just watch this. Tell me, you know what I mean? Like, it could help. I don't know. Tell me your thoughts. Good morning, Montana, Sammy Joe, and welcome back, my friend. It's good to see you again. And Paul McMurray says, yeah, stepping aside, not fully out of their lives by no means. Week on, week off with kid. It's so hard with kids, cops, DHS, schools, and community as a whole. Just need to step aside for 3 months to investigate, to invest. Okay, well, Paul, I can't tell you what to do, but I know this much. I can't imagine not seeing my kids for 3 months. And I think maybe that's because I'm the mama. I don't know. But I think that would be really hard on your kids. I know the week on, week off thing is hard, but maybe you could arrange to at least have like weekends or something during that 3 months. I understand not wanting to move them back and forth, and that's hard. But, and maybe as their dad, you go, okay, obviously mom's not going to give up her time. So instead of doing week on, week off, let's do a standard custody schedule, which is like every other weekend, every other holiday, 6 weeks in the summer, something like that. I'm not saying that's the best thing to do, but I'm saying that is something that would help your kids feel a little more stable in life. Maybe that would be helpful. Tell me your thoughts. Let's see. Hello, Linnea. And Malta says, a very good morning to you as well, Sammy Joe. Sammy Joe says, congratulations on finding the birth parents. So cool. Thank you. It was amazing. Yeah, thank you. Cosette says, thank you, Angie. What helped me was not avoiding or stuffing or distracting myself from the grief, but letting myself go through it. That is important. Yes. She said also prayer and the fact that my ex ghosted me when I checked on him. Good. Well, excuse me, my nose itchy. I think, great that he ghosted you. Be prepared for any potential hoovering attempts, but otherwise, perfect. Prayer, meditation, thought, journaling, and definitely going through the grief, not pushing it aside anymore, and finally allowing yourself to feel it. So important. You're absolutely right. And thank you so much for sharing that, Cosette. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure some of our fellow survivors do as well. Carlito Cole, hello, says, so my question is, number one, do narcissists like physical abuse against them? Number two, if they like this and it gives them their narcissistic supply, will they automatically come back? Okay. I don't know. I mean, I think there are, of course, what are they called? Misogynists, who like weird stuff like that. I don't personally find it to be a regular thing. I've never actually seen a narcissist want to be physically abused personally, but I do know there are people who like that whole, domination thing or whatever. But why would you? I don't know. I don't think we're on the same page right now. If they like physical abuse against them, will they automatically come? I mean, you're asking the wrong girl on this one. I don't think any healthy person wants physical abuse in their life. A narcissist generally would not tolerate such things. Maybe you're dealing with something different here. Let me know your thoughts. I'm just going to leave it at that. Nargis says to Vivian, some may not have body language. Watch what they're saying. Mine made promises and professed his love for me at the first date. She says he fell in love with me at first sight and I am the one. She says they're pushy. That is exactly what I was talking about, girl. Thank you, Nargis. Same page. Cosette says, I don't want anyone who's going to treat me like I never existed and ghost me when I just check on his well-being. Good for you. Good for you. And that's exactly how we should all see things. Paul says, so confusing. She told the kids everything about her. Two don't live with me every week, just my 6-year-old. It's hard. Oh, I see. Yeah. So it's hard because your 6-year-old is like sometimes an only child and sometimes has other kids with them, and it's a back and forth thing. Man, I understand. And I mean, tell me your thoughts, but I mean, would it be reasonable for you to go, okay, look, I don't want to keep taking the kid away from his siblings, but I still want to see my kid. Can we do something different with the visits? Can I just see him on the weekends or every other weekend or whatever? If you do something like that, Paul, you might have a better chance of maintaining a positive relationship with your child, and also it might make her happy since she's got 2 other kids anyway, but who cares about making her happy? Make your child happy. And the truth is children need stability, and it is hard to jump back and forth between households every week, so let me know. Am I on the wrong track here? Let me know. All right, let's see here. Narga says, mine wanted to know my family. Mine wanted to rush it to meet my kids to marry me in a jiffy. She says, little did I know this was one of the dark traits, right? Wanted and not warned. Yep, I feel you, girl. Malta says, I'm very well and glad to be here. To Sammy Joe, how are you? Linnea Elizabeth says, nice. All right. Blessed to be alive says, I think we need to stand strong for the sake of our children as well as for ourselves, though it might be hard. Absolutely. Yeah. Andrea Christensen, hey girl, hey, how you doing? And excuse me, Shannon says, Paul, please consider 3 months is like a year, even longer to a young child. They experience time very differently than adults. Exactly. Yes, exactly. That's why I'm saying don't just walk away for 3 months. He will feel abandoned for sure. Change the visitation thing if you can, because I do understand where you're coming from. And when you do the change, I want you to sit down with him and her and explain to him in front of her, listen, I love you. I wish I could have you all the time, but I don't want to keep dragging you back from house to house. I want you to feel comfortable and I want you to have your siblings and whatever. So how do you feel if we change, over to weekend visits? I mean, or whatever you choose to do, because the fact of the matter is, if you make the choices without allowing the child to sort of feel like they have some kind of say so, even if he says it's confusing, that doesn't mean he doesn't want to be with you. You know what I'm saying? Confusing doesn't mean I don't like it. It just means I'm just confused. You see what I mean? So he's saying he's confused because he loves you and his mother's saying bad things about you behind your back. And he's like, I don't get it. Why would she do that? So if you back away, it's just going to cause more confusion, more pain for him. And if you prove yourself to be what she's claiming that you are, which I'm sure she will twist everything, then, you know, like that. So I would definitely sit down with him and her and have that conversation in a public place, in a restaurant or something, and say, I've been really thinking about it. I don't want to hurt you. How would you feel if we do this? Would you prefer to keep doing the weekly thing, or do you want to switch over so you can go to school every day with your siblings and then come see dad every other weekend or whatever? I mean, at least for a while, I think you should try that, Paul. Let me know your thoughts. Doreen says, "Hi, Angie and Tribe. Question: how much do you tell an adult child about the narcissist?" I mean, honestly, Doreen, if your child is an adult and you're talking about your other, your co-parent or whatever, uh, if your child is an actual adult, I don't think that I think you can tell them as much as you feel comfortable telling them. In fact, I think that if they're in any way treating you badly because of the narcissist, then it's important that they understand what they're doing. So, and the truth is, if their parent is a narcissist, they probably already know there's something messed up about their parent. And so if you sit down and you explain to them, hey, this is what I've been dealing with while you're over there doing your kid thing, I'm dealing with this over here. And then they might go, oh, now that you mention it, I remember dad doing XYZ or mom doing XYZ or whatever. You know what I mean? And then they can make that connection. I think that's a start. And I think it also depends on the kid, what they're doing, how things are. I mean, the adult, how things are with your relationship, and whether or not they've already started to blame you for things that aren't your fault. You know. Um, Jennifer Delilah is here. Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? She says, "Hey, just chiming in with the dad who's thinking of backing out from his kids because of a narc mom. Please don't do that. My dad did it, and my mom responded by marrying a pedophile." You see that? That's what I'm saying. You got to have a dad, and you're the only dad. There could be a stepdad or whatever, but as long as you want to be the dad, you can be the dad. And if that's your kid, be the dad. I agree with Jennifer on this, and also because I had a dad that backed off. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. Michelle McGuire, hello, hello. She said it's spring here. I'm thankful to listen and learn. All right, wait a minute. I lost my place. Okay. Montana Sammy Joe is out. Oh, okay, wait, we're going to come back to that. Sorry, guys. I don't know where I was. Okay, I'm just going to start where I am here and go from there, I think. Okay. Hey, good morning, AK. How you doing? Raven says, "I've been doing better. The no contact has been helpful for healing. Just wish he would stop using the child as a pawn." Tanya Robinson says, "My narcissist ex has lots of friends, was close to his family, especially with his mom, but was an a-hole behind closed doors with kids and my own kids, but how the outside viewed him was important." I get that. I experienced something similar in a different place. Not my yeah. Crystal says, "Vivian, from my experience, they are overly warm and charming, like a whoa, blow me away charming. Mine told the sob story of his life the first time we met." Oh yeah, I heard that from my ex-husband as well. The first day we met as well, or short, first date, I guess. Um, Jennifer Delilah says, "I'm not saying anything that extreme would happen, but you never know." That's right. Jenny says, "You're the only glimmer of hope I see in my life at the moment. Thank you. Good morning." Good morning, Jenny. And I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad I could be a small part of your recovery. Sansu says, "I got a connect request from a LinkedIn group on my LinkedIn account from a Filipino law group. I only connect with health and wellness groups or practitioners who live in my area." Well, based on the fact that your ex is Filipino, I'm not surprised, right? But I hope that you are not falling for that crap. I think you're not. You're a smart lady. Um, yeah. Tanya Robinson says, "My next has lots of friends and was close to his family, especially his mom, but was an a-hole behind." Oh, yeah, I already got that one. Okay. Nah, nah, nah. All right. Nargis says, Shastina narcs use grief and bereavement as a Hoover tactic to get us back. Yes, they do. When I broke up with my narc, what made me take him back? She says his mom passed away. I hear that a lot. Let's be careful. Raquel, I like that. Bacon Bark Pet Sitting says, hey, everybody, on this sunny day. Hey, hey, hey. Um, Thank you, Malta. Narga says, I took him back at the first night. He was demanding sleep. I sleep in the bed. Oh, honey. You didn't take him back recently, though. That was before, right? Let me make sure I'm understanding. Montana Sammy Joseph, small time, not too bad. I'm helping a friend in a wheelchair move this weekend. Just had my 7-year sobriety birthday. Happy birthday. Life is fairly good. Yes, indeed. Jessica says my narcissist is trying to constantly make me feel like I'm going crazy. I can't take it anymore. Someone please help me. Something that helps a lot with that when you're dealing with gaslighting and stuff is to write down stuff that happens or put it down in an app on your phone or something, so that when someone, when the narcissist tries to confuse you, you'll know the truth. I've been there, and I hope that you're working on your plan to get out, Jessica, but keeping a journal of things is helpful. I got to the point where I wanted to record conversations because it was so overwhelming with me. But eventually I realized that I didn't need to tell the narcissist the truth about what really happened, because they knew it. And even if they didn't know it, they were going to twist it, in their heads, however it was going to work for them. So I just needed to know it for myself to stay sane. And that's why a journal can help with that. Let me know your thoughts. Hey, Tracy. Vivian Crystal Rolf says to you, mine is covert, and we were quite young. Maybe this changes over with age and experience. Yeah, I mean, I think up to a point, as they get older, they might get a little wiser, but mostly just more manipulative. And as they get less attractive, those who have the histrionic type of personality are less, they're less kind. They're much meaner and more demanding, I think. Sansu Wellness says this Filipino law group never tries to connect with me on LinkedIn before, which I find to be off now that I filed for divorce. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Raquel says, I still get support checks mailed to pay to the order of ex Raquel Molina. As if I don't exist. What a jerk. Wow. Hello, Wendy Bendy Boo. How are you? Lena says, Angie, I agree. I'm not going to dwell. I'll stay positive and take action. If anything, I will call the police. I'm literally terrified of him. Honey, I understand. And I think that you have to be that strong that you're actually willing to call the police if he shows up. But I also think, like I said, prepare and plan ahead, and then start thinking about other things that are better to think about, things that feel better to you that you can control. Yeah. Azaria Garnis is here, says, thank you. My mother's a narc. I'm doing no contact. I feel better. Excellent news. Excellent news. Excellent. Yeah. Sending positive thoughts and energy to blessed to be alive, says Malta. Peptide is called the miracle enzyme, says Michelle, which is really good with pain. Wendy Bendy Boo says, I deal with major medical stuff, including chronic pain and stress. It does make it worse. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. First friends, then bestie, then life partner. This is what I'm aiming at too, says Nargis to the dentist. Yep. All right, let's see here. Spent tons of time and time out, says Linnea. Wally says it's difficult. I hope I can get used with the rule I need to remember. I never did banking jobs before. Oh, okay, I got you. Well, be careful, Wally, and have fun with it. Try to enjoy it if you can. Wendy says you have to be best friends before spouses. Yep, I agree. Oh, I didn't see that, Malta. Thank you, my friend. All right. I did not see that. Okay. Let's see. All right. All right, everybody. How would you explain to someone, Jennifer says, the reason you don't introduce them to your family is because you divorced your narcissistic family with no contact? I wouldn't explain that until you know the person well enough to tell them that sort of thing. You have to be very careful because we do tend to attract narcissists, and if you give them any key to your weakness, they will definitely use it against you if they are, in fact, some sort of narcissist or abuser. So I wouldn't tell them that until you get to the place where you're comfortable telling them that, where you know that it's safe to tell them that. And then when you do, I would just tell the story and I would say I was abused by my family. This is how it happened. This is what it was all about. And then, show them a video. I've got a video how to explain no contact to outsiders or something like that. It will be helpful. And but let me know if you need another video. I'll make another one for you. Um, my ex narc's dad, Andrea Christensen says, is in the hospital. She says X is being too nice and, of course, being inappropriate. He is a diagnosed psychopath, stalking, rape, etc. I worry about how he will be after his father passes. I suggest that you steer clear as quickly as you can. I suggest that you step away as quickly as you can, honestly. All right, guys, I just realized what time it was. I went way over time again today. I've got to rush off, but I will see you later today with another video. I'll try to have videos for you over the weekend, and I'll be back on Monday for our usual session. If you have questions, comments, concerns, leave them here. I'll try to come back and check this after my next appointment. For those of you who are masterminds, I will see you in the mastermind group at noon. And other than that, hugs and love. And as always, thank you for letting me be a part of your day and a part of your life. Thanks for being a part of mine. It really, truly means a lot to me. And I'll see you soon.